Welcome to the Ave Podcast, where I'm joined by the Canadian University Hall of Famers and friends of the podcast, Mr. Anthony Batchelor, Mr. Jan Michael Nation. Mr. Nation, how you doing, sir? Both of you, how you guys doing today?
Hey, what's up?
Doing well, my brother. Thank you for having me again.
Yes.
Looking forward to sharing ideas.
Thank you. Appreciate having you guys on as always, man. But yo, we got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it right now. Before we get into breaking down these series, I know some of us here, or at least some of us here, are watching this this playing game with Orlando and Atlanta, which Orlando seems to be pulling away, and they'll most likely be facing Boston, right? Not Cleveland, Boston. And the Golden State Memphis game is coming up next. And before we get to our awards, before we get to these series, let's talk about the fall in the Phoenix. The fall of the Phoenix, man.
Yeah.
This is unprecedented, crazy nonsense. I honestly didn't think it was that bad until I actually started looking even today as like the history since Matt Ishbia has been the owner. I'm actually going to pull this up because I couldn't even keep track of it all. It is like damn near catastrophic. So here's a few stats before I let you guys jump in. When the Suns hire their next head coach, it'll be Devin Booker's 8th different head coach in his 11th season. Only Monty Williams has coached him more than a year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Suns head coaching history under Matt Ishbia, Monty Williams was fired 3 months after Ishbia became the owner. Frank Vogel fired after 1 year. Budenholzer fired after 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. There's more. The Wizards still have all of the draft picks coming from the Suns thanks to the Bradley deal. They got their 2025 second-round pick, 2026 unprotected first-round pick. They swapped 2026 second round, 2027 second round, 28 unprotected first-round pick, and their and they actually have their second-round pick as well, and their 2023 unprotected pick. They get the first round swap for their 2030 second round pick. And then this is the biggest one here. The Suns spent $683 million, including taxes in the last 2 years.
Wow.
$683 million in taxes. So almost $750 million and in the last 2 years, on only one playoff series to show for it, not even a victory.
Hey,
what are your thoughts on this, man?
Hold on. My thoughts is this. You know what they call that? They call that a tariff. I'm going to leave it at that. Those guys are idiots. That's what I told you. The owners are coming in thinking they know everything, and they're blowing money. It's not making sense. They're not making basketball moves. They're just making money moves. And at the end of the day, they don't have the right people in the circle or in the front office to consult them and tell them, hey, listen, man, it's a bad move. Maybe they should put up a job posting saying, hey, listen, who has a basketball mind that can actually make some sense? If you could probably still put somebody in there that doesn't know numbers, but can still have the realization that, listen, this is not going to work. KD works a certain way. Devin Booker works a certain way. Bradley Beal works a certain way. Unfortunately, I think that Bradley Beal hasn't really come to the point in his career where he's ready to give up being a featured player. I still think he wants that. I don't think he's ready to be a role player. But at the same time, all this foolishness, I think it's going to prompt Devin Booker asking for a trade after they ship out Kevin Durant too. That franchise has gone completely in a different direction.
I agree with everything you said. I just think you look at the coaches, right? 3 coaches. You look at this year. You look at, especially this year, with all the firings of coaches and general managers, and in the last little bit, you're starting to get understanding that, because, like you said, clearly someone is not in a clear position to make judgment basketball moves, right? So that's one thing. The second thing is, I think it's just, you said it's money moves. I agree 110%. I think clearly they're telling the general manager to do, because James Jones is the general manager for the Phoenix Suns, I believe, right? He's a pretty darn good guy. Yeah, because he built that championship year, right? He brought everything together.
Exactly.
I think the owners are just saying, listen, man, get this done. Do it now, right? They tried to put together because it looked good on paper, but they didn't really look at the parts playing together because Devin Booker and Beal are the same entity. They're all the same entity because they're all mid-range ISO players. The problem was if you needed a specific coach that's going to be able to use those talents together. Budenholzer, I'm just sorry, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just like, he can't be mad right now because obviously he lost a coaching job, but he's going to get paid until 2029, man. $10 million a year.
Yeah.
Right?
10
so
million a year.
I didn't think he could sit down, relax, right? But what I've learned, there's so much into this question that you asked, but coaching was an issue. The players didn't believe into the coach. He lost the locker room early. It was just a disaster. So once the leadership was all over the place, it just fell down. It just fell all the way down from the top all the way down. It was just dysfunction. Like KD got hurt, and I said, I'm wondering, is he going to rush to come back because they have a chance to be in the play-in, or is he just going to say, you know what, all right, guys, right? You said something about the draft picks. You left off the draft picks, right? I think they'll get some of that back with whatever collateral happens for KD. Obviously, one, Devin Booker is going to be the key, whether they're looking to trade him or not. Beal has a no trade clause, so I guess he's in for the long haul until he waives it.
They can actually buy him out. But if they buy him out, they said it's going to be by far the largest buyout in NBA history. By far, he's owed like $110 million left over the next 2 years.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, are you going to continue to panic during the free fall, or are you going to just stop the bleeding and start working, taking the time to understand that this is not going to happen overnight? You just got to start. Are you going to? Is it a rebuild right away? Get these guys out of here because they could get all that stuff that they lost. They could get it back for if they trade Booker.
I got a suggestion. I think they're trying to get relocated. It don't make sense to me. They're trying to get relocated. You might as well just send them to Seattle. Maybe KD will stay.
You just want a team back in Seattle, and by any means necessary. They deserve a team, though. They do deserve a team. I won't even front. Especially if you watch, if you listen to that Sonic Boom podcast series. Yeah, they deserve a team. I've been saying that for years, even without that. But here's another thing I forgot too. I think Brian Windhorst said it today that if how does it work? So if basically the team is working with Durant to basically get traded this summer to make a move to get him out of town this summer, they said that because they're so high in the luxury tax, they said that if they trade Durant, it's most likely just for flexibility, financial flexibility. So meaning that they're not going to get a lot back.
Right. But other teams know that.
This is how far gone this has been.
Right. So other teams know that. So if I'm another team, I'm not going to give you a bunch of draft picks because you're in desperate need. You need to give up that money. So
but they would do it for Devin Booker.
I mean, even so, I mean, well, if you do it for Devin Booker, then that means you're definitely imploding at that point.
I think it's what can you salvage at this point as a player?
Definitely.
Like it's up to him if he wants to. I don't know, man. He made an interesting point. The last game, he said he suited up and he wanted to give it for the fans, right? And I was like, that was interesting. Like as if it was his last game. I don't know if that was a game.
Oh, this is what Booker said?
Yeah. It was after the game. He said, I just wanted to give it for the fans that came for NBA game. I didn't want to disappoint by not playing.
Oh, wow.
So I made sure that I want to give them that. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. And I was like, is that a precursor what's to look forward to this summer?
Yes.
Like I just like, when you're watching these games, when you're watching these games, there's a lot of stuff going on. I like watching the huddle. I like watching the engagement between the coaches and the players. I like when the players are walking towards the bench to see the engagement between the players as they're talking. I like to see the timeouts, what's happening. And it's interesting to see, like over this past season, I've seen KD yelling at Budenholzer. Like, so the respect was gone. So you're not going to win. It's such a hard thing to do to compete when you're in disarray. So I can imagine this season has been a shit show,
And on top of that too, like I feel like two things. Number one, I feel like James Jones I hope all the other owners aren't gonna, if they look to hire him, they're gonna make him at fault for this. Like this should not.
His
fall
contract
on his,
ends
on his,
after
on
the
his
season. His contract ends.
Yeah, they're not going to resign it back. But I'm right. But I'm saying that this should not hurt him, because from the beginning, Ishbia has been trying to make these moves. They said him and the CEO of the Suns, I think Bartelstein or whatever. It's Josh Bartelstein. They've basically been in on every trade. So this has their fingerprints, and at this point, their paw prints all over this. You know what I mean? And I know the Durant one for sure, because I remember that was like the big thing where I think he stepped in like, "Yo, it's Durant. Do whatever. Get him here. Do whatever." And then you lost Bridges and Cam Johnson and draft picks, which I thought was like crazy. To be honest, I didn't even like the Durant trade, much less the Beal one. I didn't like either trade. And on paper, I understand because it's Durant. Of course, you trade for Durant, but I'm like, this isn't a fantasy basketball team. You know what I mean? Like you have to construct it a certain way. This team just went to the finals. They're pretty.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Younger.
That was what, 2021.
Yeah. So they made that trade in 2022 or 2022. No, 2023. They made the trade. But I'm like, the guys are still.
But I'm saying the finals run. The finals run was 2021, though, right? Or
yes.
2022? Okay, 2021.
2021.
So think about.
Yeah.
So you're close to winning an NBA championship. You're up 2-0, or was it? Yeah, they're up. Were they up 2-0 or 2-1? They're up, and then Milwaukee came back and won that. Giannis took over. Now, the fall from grace. Obviously, they couldn't maintain Chris Paul because of his contract. They got rid of him, but when he was gone, you could tell like the control on the court was gone. Because they tried to put Booker at the point guard, Beal at a point guard. They could play supplementary point guard when the point guard's off in the secondary role, but not primary continuously.
But they had a true point guard this year, though.
He's off the bench. But he got destroyed. He can't guard no one.
But he specifically went to that team for the purpose of running the point guard position.
Yeah, I know.
He gave up money to go to other teams, to go to Phoenix to actually run that position. Yeah. And didn't even get he started off the season well, and then all of a sudden he fell off. It doesn't really make sense. Like
Budenholzer does not make no adjustments. My guy, he would not make no adjustments. It's just the same thing over and over. He reminds me of my university coach. It's like flashbacks. You'll love that, Kelvin. Terry Haggy,
don't do that to me, Jan. I still get night terrors from that. I feel for James Jones because I'm like, number one, he shouldn't be in this position to like this. I mean, I think other teams will see that though, so I don't think this is going to hurt him that much. And with Bradley Beal is tough too because it's kind of like Westbrook. Like when you're in that situation where you got a lot of money, you're not quite ready to be that, six man or off the bench. Once they start asking you. The moment they start asking you to be a six man, it's like, going forward, don't give up any more money because after that, you're not going to make the same money after that. So he's owed like $110 million. Get all your money because you're not going to get it again after this.
No, I just I think it's more the owner's influence, more so than anything. That's kind of the destruction of the franchise, right? So they have an agenda going on, whether they want to relocate or they're just trying to tank or who knows what they're doing. It's just like for them to fall short of the play-in, it's just like, what? You know what I'm saying? That's like, what's going on here with the talent that they have offensively? But they were soft. I watched a few games. I don't know, like they got off the gates early. I think KD sprained his ankle or something, and then when he went down, they were derailed. Then Beal is always in and out. And then they brought him off the bench. I'm hearing you're hearing him behind the scenes that him and the coach, they didn't respect him. So it's just interesting when you don't respect your coach, you're not going to play hard. You're not going to go through a wall for him. So it's just interesting. It's disappointing. It's just like, wow, really? So. That's what you get.
Yeah. So it's this is going to be bad for a long time. Like if I was them right now, and I could get into the mind of Madden or at least be in the room where he can lend you his ear, I would tell him, yo, fire sale right now. Start this over. Let's try to get as much draft picks as we can because like this is a dumpster fire right now.
You know, KD's gone, right? So I'm just in the real.
Yeah, he's gone for sure. They tried to trade him this offseason. I mean, sorry, before the trade deadline, they tried to trade him.
Yeah, he nixed it. But like, I'm thinking if Booker goes, that will be interesting, and what they get for him if that happens. That's why I would like to see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mikal Bridges got 5. They got 5. The Knicks got 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. Minnesota got 4 for Rudy Gobert. So you better get at least 5. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And a player. At least. Don't be like Dallas. Don't just get one.
Listen, all I know is one. We'll talk about. I guess that's one of the topics of the later on. But like that watching the LA Dallas game was very interesting to see, especially from a standpoint of like Anthony Davis had a huge opportunity to kind of put his stake in the whole situation. Hey guys, remember me? And just steal the show. And he just took a step back. And I was like, it just made me realize, thank God he's in Dallas. Thank you, Lord, in Jesus' name. Don't have to deal with the foolishness of this episode of soap opera, this male soap opera of this guy, of his body, it's the mind. I saw it. As a basketball player, as a competitor, it was such a bad look. Like, you know, it must be hard for him because he feels unappreciated. He knows that LA never truly had any future with him. Clearly, they were just waiting for something to come up, right? And so now he has to prove it. He has to prove himself in Dallas, you know. So like, it's interesting. He got himself back. To play for what? To do what?
It almost seemed like he was just playing out the string because even his minutes weren't like, it wasn't like high minutes. Even when he did come back, it was like he was just playing out the string. And I think they are in the play-in, right?
They're in the play-in.
Maybe they're saving him for that.
Playing Sacramento, and they got Sacramento favorite to win. I feel that's going to be an upset. We're all talking about Anthony Davis not playing up to his potential right now. I think he's saving himself for that playing game tomorrow.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. If he doesn't play the way he is known to be playing, something's very suspect. It wouldn't make sense.
I'm not gonna believe it. My friend, I've watched enough games to see that. Like, and you know why I say this? What's his face from Sacramento owns that ass.
Who? Sabonis. Listen, I'm not even worried about that. Hold on. We got to be clear here. You got AD, Lively's back, Gafford is back. Nah, the same team that we all said. I'm pretty sure everyone said the same thing, bro. The front court of that team, nah, they're gonna be.
I'm not disputing that. Yeah, but we're talking about winning one game, right? One game. Who's a point guard, right? Dinwiddie is a lot on Dinwiddie. They're not getting that offensive power from the perimeter. That's the problem. Christie fell off a cliff. This guy came in hot, and we can't find this guy. He's a good defender, but you can't rely on that offense, right? So they don't have the offensive firepower to compete. Inside, it's all it's his world. Between the three of those guys.
Hold on. So you're saying
whoa, because they got Lively and Gafford back too.
That's what
I know. Inside, yes, they got it. I don't dispute that.
On the perimeter,
they have that advantage.
Oh, okay.
But AD struggles with Sabonis. Struggles.
Yeah, he does.
Bad.
Hold on. So that's been his whole career, right? Or is that only when he's been with the Lakers?
I would say with the Lakers, mostly with the Lakers. So you're saying there's a new beginning?
100%.
Okay, 100%. Listen. I watched this guy punk AD, and LeBron's like, "Hey, man, come on, man, you gotta compete," and he was just taking it. I was like, "Yo," dunk on him, push him off. Like I was like, "Yo," like Sabonis brought it, and then I think a few times he got the better of it, the head to head. But like up until that moment, like he never beat. I think there was like a record of he's never beaten Sabonis in a game head to head with the Lakers. It was like a 10-0 something, right? So I was like, whoa. So he was beating him in the games.
You're right.
And head to head. And I was like, I didn't know about this. And so I started really paying attention to it. And I was like, okay, so I am not a believer. I'm just not like, and I've been watching this guy up and down and the injuries and everything.
I think tomorrow's going to be a different story.
You don't believe in Najee Marshall?
Listen, I don't sleep on him. He's good, man.
No, he's nice.
You still got Peter Washington.
But he's nice when Kyrie and they got the stars as a complimentary off the bench, like Swiss knife kind of guy. Because I like he competes. He doesn't care. Win or lose, he's going to compete. And I like that about him. He's got that dog in him.
He does. And ever since Kyrie went down, he's been really solid, actually.
Yeah, very solid. He can't shoot consistently the three, but, because I know it's what the Lakers can do. They're forced to compete. This NBA is interesting because everyone's shooting threes, but they're not real marksmen, right? So
yeah. That's today's problem with the league, period.
Yeah.
But you know what, guys, though? I'll leave it in your hands. Where do you guys want to tackle first? You guys want to tackle the series, or do you guys want to tackle the awards first?
You might want to leave the series last. I feel like that can go in a different direction.
Okay.
Especially some people are waiting for the Knicks right now. They want to talk about the Knicks right now, so we're gonna leave that last right now.
Okay. We'll leave that series for last. All right.
I'll hold my breath.
We can talk about the Lakers first. That'll be real quick. We ain't worry about that one.
That's gonna be competitive. I think I'm intrigued to see what game plan they run with. It's just interesting to see.
I was about to say, are we jumping right into it now?
I was going to say, hold on.
Sorry, my bad.
He just heard Lakers. He just heard Lakers and he's gone.
Going off the Batches.
Oh man!
Give me a free layup right there.
Here's the question I want to ask Jan, though: Is he a Lakers fan, period, or is he a Lakers fan because LeBron's there? So, like, if LeBron leaves, are you still going to be wearing purple and gold, or is it going to be the purple Raptors? Which one is it?
Purple Raptors. That's great.
Purple Raptors. I will say I am a LeBron James fan through and through. But
so you're not a
more
Lakers
importantly,
fan.
I'm not being a Lakers fan, no.
So can we be realistic then?
Yeah, part-time Lakers fan.
Can we be realistic then? Are the Lakers really going to beat the TWolves?
I think it'll be. Yeah, I believe they can.
Okay, hold the thought. We'll save that. We'll save that. Let's get to the awards. I know Jan's like, hey, listen, I want to talk about the Lakers.
This guy asked me a question. I just answered, man. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, we'll start with the awards first. So right now we got the six. Was it the six? The six award categories, and then we got the All NBA, whatever. But I figure we'll do the All NBA together really quick. But we'll start with the 6-man category. So we'll do a snake style. So we'll start off with Batch, then Jan, then myself, and then I'll take the other. Then I'll start the next one, and then we'll go down the snake style draft. Batch, who you got for 6th man of the year?
Oh my gosh. Man, we're really gonna start off with me. I mean, the first person I say off top, it's
actually kind of tough.
It might have to be Peyton Pritchard, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only saying that because of the record. But I feel like there's other people out there that could take that. But it's been competitive. But the way that Peyton Pritchard has been playing off the bench, it's almost like just to slot him into the starting lineup, it could easily be done. So I think it proves his worth. Yeah, I'm gonna go Peyton Pritchard right now. That's my guy for 6 man of the year.
Yeah, he's mine too. Actually, it's I'm looking at his stats. He basically averaged almost 15 points a game off the bench, 3.5 dimes. He had good shooting splits. I almost took Beasley though, because I think Beasley actually led the league off the bench in scoring, and he actually played really well this year, man. Like Detroit has been. That's been such a revelation. But
he's had some inconsistent games though. Beasley, he's had some inconsistent games though, where you would think that he would really take over, and all of a sudden he would go for dead. And I'm like, hell is it?
Well, he played in LA, so
yeah,
he couldn't hit the side of the bar in LA. Yeah, I saved that one. You know what? I didn't say nothing. I was holding my breath until my moment came. He couldn't hit the side of the bar in LA. And then this guy goes to Detroit, and this guy's wetting up the world and doing his shimmy. And I was just like, it's just interesting. I thought, but he's having a great year. Can't deny it. I think more of a comeback year. He had something to prove. It's like all those guys went to Detroit and like just banded together and took on the energy of the city. But I will definitely agree with you. I think it's Peyton Pritchard because he has a big role. When they go to the bench, especially when he comes on, there's no drop off. And then he's been hitting threes. He just makes he's a big component of what they need to do. And so I think he impacts winning. You know what I'm saying? And that's at the end of the day the big thing. So I would say Peyton Pritchard over there's the kid Hunter from Cleveland, Ty Jerome, and I just think it's solid. Pritchard because it's like he's been consistent. It's like consistent. You know what I'm saying? Plus he has that championship experience. And he excels in the playoffs. And he's like a little tank, a little bull. And he's like, it's funny. He goes at these guys. You see these little battles with these guys having at games. And he's hard nosed. He's perfect for what Boston is. He fits the city's profile, obviously. Mm-hmm. And so, I think he's a hell of a player.
He's like their sixth starter, essentially, at this point.
Yeah.
Like there's games where he's like come on, taking over completely.
It's just like, think about the guard play that they have between White. Okay, think of the guard play they have between White. What's his name again? He came back recently. Holiday. Okay, right. Holiday's not himself yet, but he's getting there. They don't need him offensively. They need him just defensively, right? And then you have Pritchard coming off the bench for one of those guys. So there's no drop off. More, I think, when he comes on for Holiday, you're probably getting more offense because he can hit the three at a consistent clip. You know what I'm saying? So I just think his numbers are just strong numbers coming off the bench on a championship defending championship team. So he's going to get the nod.
What's amazing with him is that when he shoots, a lot of times he almost reached Curry mode where it's like a lot, like at least halfway through the year where it was like when he took a shot, I was surprised he missed.
Yeah, especially the buzzer beaters he's hitting throughout the year. He hit like some half-court buzzer beaters this year. So I give it to him.
Yeah, but when he was open, you were like, oh, that's a bucket. Like you didn't even think twice about it. Like it's crazy.
He's a good shooter.
And Derek White has been like, Derek White has been friggin' amazing this year too, man. Like he borderline could have been an all-star himself this year. Like he played really well.
But like you can see the progression. You can see the progression with Derek White because he got the seasoning and the teaching at San Antonio, right? And then where did he go before? Then he went to Boston, right? They came close. He fell short. Then he went. Then they finally win. And then it's just the craziness that he gets on the Olympic team and he's getting more minutes than Tatum. You can't write that, you know. So his impact is once again impacting winning. Like he's a tall guard, he's a great defender, great basketball IQ, and he's aggressive when need be because he'll hit those shots. He's not afraid to take it. He has that experience. He's a winner.
100%. And I was going to say, last thing with Pritchard is it's a testament to how hard, like when you work in the off season and when you get the opportunity to play. Like, because I mean, on the championship team, he wasn't getting a lot of burn, but this year it's like once he knew he was getting the minutes, man, he went crazy this summer, and you can see the results.
He earned those minutes.
Kudos to him, but he's not playing. So Jan, who's the coach of the year for you? Who's the coach of the year for you?
I'm gonna give it to you, Doka.
Ooh.
I like what JJ Redick has done.
Wait, what? Why did you mention him?
Because like I'm just impressed. They got a 50-win season.
He did a good job, though. I won't lie. I can't even hit on that.
For coach of the year?
Hold on. Let me say this. When they traded AD, the one thing I was concerned about was the defense and the defensive rebounding and the block shots, what he presents. And I was like, okay. And then the defense got better when he left. So I was like, what does that mean? So you guys were just knowing you weren't playing hard, letting him know that he was in the back line? Because now that you know he's not there, you have to play for each other. Like, that's what's happened.
Well, hold on a second. You can't forget you have DFS on that team, who's getting most of the center minutes because Jackson Hayes is not stopping anybody.
Yes, agreed.
Then you have who's my other guy? Vanderbilt.
Yes.
Remember, Vanderbilt's been injured the whole season. So I don't know if we can say that after AD got traded, they got better defensively.
No, their defensive improved significantly.
But that's having a healthy team, though.
Sorry?
That's by having a healthy team, though. By way of having a healthy team.
I don't dispute that. But I'm saying they've been they were playing on a nice roll until LeBron got hurt. He got hurt. They fell off defensively. He came back. They still didn't find their way. And they still it's been up and down. So I'm really intrigued once again with this playoff round, but I still think it's impressive what he did. First year coach. Some of the concepts, I've watched a lot of the plays that he's run. I watched a lot of the out of bounds plays. I watched some of the half court sets. I like it comparative to what they were doing last year. Oh my goodness. And no one's saying nothing about what's his name? What's his name again? I can't remember his name. What's last year's coach? What's his name? Huh? Darvin Ham.
Darvin Ham.
He's at Milwaukee assistant right now. Right? So I think it was a big win, but I think Udoka, for what he's done with those guys, they believe, they know their roles, and they understand. I think they need a whole bunch of seasoning, but I think it's Udoka because you can tell he's like you could put him anywhere, and he'll start a new culture there.
He's not a good coach.
It's unfortunate a scandal happened, but God damn it, he can't keep him around your wife, but damn it, he can coach basketball. He can coach basketball. Right?
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
He's not a good coach. He's not a good coach. He's a great coach.
He's an amazing coach. He's a leader of men. He's a leader of men.
Yo, I'll hold off on my pick, but he is a great coach. Who do you got, Batch?
Hold on, you holding off on your pick? You don't want to go first?
Okay, I can go.
I don't know. I got my pick.
Bickerstaff.
That was actually my pick, hands down. That was about to be my pick, hands down. Bickerstaff.
Who?
100%.
Bickerstaff is hands down?
100%.
Okay.
Hands down.
But I honestly, I was 50-50. I was 50-50 on both of them. But I honestly, I chose Bickerstaff because, they were last in the East last year. They had 14 wins, and now they have 44. And then he completely changed the culture of that team. I mean, Cade being healthy is that definitely helps, obviously, because that's like an all-NBA player at this point. Yo, Nation, I've been saying it pretty much all year that I'm like, I give him another year before he starts challenging SGA. I've been saying it all year. I think I actually think he could be that good. We'll see what happens.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that though.
He's saying another year.
He's smooth.
Listen,
but I don't give
another year.
Steps. You're jumping steps, sir. You're jumping from just an all-star to MVP? No.
Listen, I'm not saying next year. I'm saying give him another year or so.
We're going to see with the Knicks.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I couldn't hold. I was holding my breath. I was out of air. I had to get that in there. Okay, so
I should have just said Thibodeau just for the sake of it, just to get him going.
Yo, this guy won't play his bench, man. 7 deep, crazy.
Right.
It's like as a coach. Listen, as a coach, it bothers me to see that. Once again, my university coach, God bless his soul, he would only goes 5 to 6, 7 deep max, and won't cultivate the 8th, 9th, and sometimes understand that those guys can make a difference to steal your game here and there, just to keep a possession or two, right? You need that 8th and 9th. You need to develop that as a coach. You need to develop that at some point during the year. And the fact that Tibbs still does what he does is mind-boggling. And their players had meetings about it, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just interesting to see. We'll see. We're going to see because if they want to do a deep run with 5 players,
Well, Jan, you know that saying how that saying goes, man. The only thing that changes about people is their clothes. You know, I think with him, that's basically what that is. It's over, man. Like this, he's been this way since. I mean, look what he did to Luol Deng. Look what he did to Luol Deng. Luol Deng had to go on a sabbatical for years to come back after being ran through like a freaking.
Didn't someone owe him money? Was it? It was like the Lakers owed him money. Like they stopped paying him like about 3 or 4 years ago.
Somebody owed him money. Yeah. Somebody owed him money. He's doing great. He's career, by the way. Yeah. He's been doing great. But I mean, to go back to Bickerstaff though, yeah, that was my pick too. Man, they got some vets, so I mean, you got to give some respect to the GM too. But you know, like you got to give props to what they're doing. And I mean, for them for people to be legitimately talking about them beating the Knicks, I mean, we'll get into that after. But like for them to even be in that conversation a year later is amazing. And I think that's the only reason why I went with him over Udoka. But it was between the two of them, and I honestly it was really hard to choose. I think what Udoka did for that team to be second in the West, like come on, man, that's like come on, that's an incredible job. But like I said, but I went with Bickerstaff too, just for the reason that they were. I had to check again to realize they're freaking last in the East last year.
Yeah.
So to go from that to being in the playoffs and not to play in. Come on, man. That's like I think
a lot had to come into play in a sense of a lot of players went back there. A lot of veteran players went back there because they have a veteran second unit, right? A lot of guys that just been around the league that kind of been fringe players. You know what I'm saying? That have something, a little chip on their shoulder, so that you could tell that guys. And what's his name that went from Philly to from Philly there? They wish they had him now.
Tobias
Harris.
He's quietly he's leading on and off the court.
Tobias Harris.
Yeah. Right. He's playing well, but they're playing well together. They all know their role and they support Cabe and let him do his thing. And they got the crazy man Stewart manning the paint and fighting everybody and their mom. So like, you know what I'm saying? Why not? Yeah. That's why I think I don't think they can beat the Knicks, but I think they could give them a good fight, soften them up for the next round.
No.
Listen,
they're gonna soften them up.
Bully beef, man.
Bully beef to the max, guy. 2.0 bully beef.
Bully beef too. Hey, corn beef.
Let me go get. Let me get the. Yeah, don't let me go get the key.
You had to put it out there for corned beef for the ones that didn't understand that one, huh?
Yo, I don't put the corned beef kid on the screen. Watch the game. Yo, they're gonna bruise. Oh, Karl Anthony Towns. Yeah, come in the paint, buddy.
Nah, he gonna shoot threes all day.
Yeah, he is.
Because Duran is Ben Wallace's son.
Oh
just
my
the way
god!
He's built.
Listen, Duran and Stewart together, they're a problem, man. The tandem, one comes off, one goes in. As there's no drop off and abuse that you're gonna take. You know you're gonna take licks. You know,
and they're running on that bad boy light currency right now too.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty heavy on that.
How many fights? Yo, they fight everyone. They're fighting everyone. They're fighting everyone. So I like it personally. You know what I'm saying?
I do too.
So it's like they all have a chip on their shoulder. They got Dennis Schroeder is slowly manning that second unit. You know what I'm saying? This guy, I felt bad for him. This guy was balling in Brooklyn. They're doing too well. They're exceeding expectations. They send him to Golden State. Sorry. It wasn't picking up early enough, and then they send him to Detroit, and it looks like and then he just catch on with these guys, and they're doing well.
This is why you rent. This is why you rent. You don't buy. This is why you rent. Yeah. So I'll go for Rookie of the Year. Shout out to a couple of rookies. Shout out to Zach Edey, who I think after that firing, I mean, it's really late, of course, because y'all know about the Memphis situation. But ever since that coaching change, he's been putting up some big double doubles. I don't know what he's doing in this game right now as it's on. But sorry,
he's getting minutes now. That's why.
Oh yeah, he's getting consistent minutes, but he's averaging like when I say double double, it's like 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 boards. Like he's been putting in work. But he's getting proper time, though, to your point, right? But I went with Stephen Castle, or Stephen Castle. Like he finished pretty strong. He's probably the most consistent rookie. Yeah, the most consistent rookie. And I mean, you could see the improvements that he's made throughout the year. I don't doubt that Chris Paul has given him the same treatment that he gave SGA when he did that 1 year in OKC. You can see he's starting to get a little bit better and get the confidence. Shout out to Ricochet, because I was flirting going with him too, because listen, I know everybody with this draft happened. Yeah, but everybody was like, oh, this draft is terrible. It's a bust. He's going to be a bust. I was like, okay, I never thought he was going to be a superstar, but I'm like, every time I look at the highlights, I'm like, is it just me? I'm like, I think he's pretty good. I'm looking at these highlights. I'm like, you guys saw the French highlights. I'm like, he doesn't look like a bad player. I'm like, is it just, why is everybody saying he's trash? And you can see it. You can see what he's doing. I mean, not tonight, but like what he's doing throughout the year. Like that, Atlanta is set up to be pretty good if they can stay healthy. I don't know what they're going to do with Trey in the offseason, but if they can keep that tandem with him, Jalen Johnson, when he gets back, because that was basically like a 20-10 guy. He was on my fantasy team. And then with Daniels and then with Daniels and then Ricochet and Okongwu, like, yo, that's a solid. They got a solid team, and then that trade they made to kind of solidify their bench a little bit as well. They're making some decent moves, but they got to stay healthy. But who do you got? Who do you got, Naisha, as your rookie of the year?
I agree with you. I think it's Stephen Castle. I think I saw some highlights. I was watching some games earlier, and I see this guy coming in the paint. I was like, oh, it looks like he's going to do a finger roll. And this guy's banging on people, man. Hard. That was one hand. Two hands. Right? And I was like, okay, this guy's a different guy. So I wasn't surprised when he entered the dunk-off. So you know he's a strong athlete. He has a strong body. Yeah. So you're like, okay, the athleticism is off the charts. Now, can he add some skill and basketball IQ to complement the athleticism? That's where Chris Paul comes into play, the influence of confidence and the drilling of the work, right? So that's where you're seeing more consistency, more comfortability, being more comfortable playing in his role. And I think the ceiling's bright for him. So I think the Ricochet kid is nice, but he still needs more seasoning. But I think Edie, I like Edie. He's a throwback. I like that he competes, but his footwork, this guy's like, he's walking in the mud, man. And so it's just interesting when I watched the Lakers play against him. Batch, I want to let you know that. He got exposed bad. And it's just like they kept bringing him out. And it's like I was watching his footwork. He has no lateral movement. And it's just like, woof. So he's got to do some skipping and some foot drills. He's got the moves. He doesn't he has hooks over the right and left shoulder, couple counters, but that's it. They don't really, I don't know, man. He's a strong body, but I think Castle is ahead of everyone else.
It's tough for Edie though, because I mean, unless you're Wemby, almost every guy that's 7'3" or 7'4" doesn't have lateral foot speed. You know what I mean? Like Wemby's the only one.
Yeah, but I'm like, let's look at him compared to like Steven Adams. Adams has more lateral movement than he does, right? And he's carrying more weight. Well, who knows who's much weight or bigger? But like, it's just like you are who you are. I'm not gonna take that from you, but you're gonna have to work on your footwork to stay on the floor. If you can't stay on the floor the last 5 minutes, then that's what you're gonna be, right? So like once Minnesota plays the Lakers, we'll see what happens to Gobert.
I don't know what you think is gonna happen.
He's gonna play himself off the floor.
You guys are not gonna have an answer for Gobert. I'll tell you right now. 0 chance with Gobert.
I'm waiting. Go ahead, Kevin.
Well, who's your rookie of the year?
I had Stephen Castle.
Okay, so it's a sweep.
Yeah, I mean, Ricochet, he started picking it up after Jalen Johnson went down, though.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate, but Stephen Castle is that's clear cut rookie of the year for me.
Yeah, Ricochet is missing just a little paprika. Just a little missing. Just a little bit.
Some seasoning, yeah.
You know, but I like him though. But the stats of the second half. Well, the second half after the All-Star break, he was averaging like 50 in the game. But what's impressive is you shooting 50% from the field and 40 from three, which I'm like, wow, I didn't think it was that high. Ricochet after the All-Star break.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been putting in some work.
Okay.
He's been putting in some work. Seasoned salt, I guess. He sprinkled a little bit last minute. Most improved player. I'll go with man. There was a few choices, but I don't know if it's because of opportunity. I have to go with to me. I think you have to go with Josh Giddey. Who argues with me?
Josh
go ahead.
Giddey. Yo, what? He's the same player he was in OKC.
He's been better.
What?
But the second half of the year, look at his splits. He's shooting 38% from three and 78 from the line.
I think I have
46% overall from the field.
I think I got a couple people that will probably outdo him for sure for most improved player. I'm not going to say that. I mean, you're wrong. I mean, I would say I disagree, but I'm not going to say you're wrong. But I feel that what he's doing in Chicago is the same thing he was doing in OKC, but it was all being overlooked because of Shea and Jalen Williams. So he was still putting up those triple-double numbers, right? Now, maybe his jump shot got better because a lot of people were playing with the Bulls. You got to focus on Kobe White, Vucevic, and Patrick Williams, I guess, would be the next person. So at that point, a lot of people leave him open. They're like, well, we're going to dare him to shoot. And there will be some shots from like, wow. I mean, there's been a couple times where I'm like, I wonder what he's going to do tonight. And, man, okay, you know what? Just thinking about it, yeah, I got it. But I'm still not giving him most improved, though. I think there's some other people that probably get most improved over him. For sure.
So who are you choosing?
I got a couple right now. I got a couple. But continue, Cal. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, after the All-Star break, 21, 11, and 9. After the All-Star break. I mean, he almost had a quadruple-double a few weeks back against Jan's team.
Yeah. He had 7
2 steals short of a quadruple-double.
Yeah. It was 2? I thought he had 7 steals.
Jan's quiet.
Yeah. Crazy. Crazy. Numbers were ridiculous.
Oh, he had 8. He had 8, and then he had the buzzer, and then he had the buzzer beater against him the week after.
Oh yeah, in Chicago on LeBron.
Yeah. Anyways, I checked
in Chicago too.
I was in my car. I checked the ticker. Oh, we're up. I was like, all right, 5 seconds. All right, cool. I checked it at the next light. We lost. I was like, what? And then I saw the highlights. Punch in the air, but it's okay. That was a tough game. But yeah, he's been balling.
Cuba Gooding style.
I know. Punching the ceiling, eh? Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn between him and what's his name? Looked it up here. The Dyson Daniels kid.
Yeah, that's another one too.
From Atlanta. So like I think because of the flair of what he does all around, I think Giddey might get it because he has a more all-around game, and he's worked on his perimeter shot. That set shot, wow, that's crazy. But
he's making them.
I'm gonna lean towards Giddey because he's involving and it's like you can tell he's found his groove with that group, and they're flowing right now.
Let me get back. I was gonna say, let me get Batch to get on the Giddey train. Come this way, dog.
It's definitely not gonna happen. It's definitely not gonna happen. I got two guys that I would say most improved. The first one is actually Jaren Jackson. With no job,
really?
Yeah, man. Listen. One of his biggest flaws is he can't stay out of foul trouble, and he actually did that really well this season without getting in foul trouble and being consistently. I would consider him the number one man for most of the season, even over Desmond Bane, without Ja. I think he did really well, man. Most of the people I'll give to Jaren Jackson. That's one of my options. But actually, I have another player ahead of him. I'm going to give it to Jalen Green. His maturity alone, by far, has completely solidified him as a go-to player on the Houston Rockets. Before, I would say, man, I don't think he's ready. Give it straight to Senjun, how you say his name. But Jalen Green actually, and that could actually be because of Fred VanVleet with the veteran mentality in terms of how he needs to come about and preparation of the games every night, and maybe even with the Doka too. But I think most improved. I think you might want to give it to Jalen Green, man. Seriously.
Because I remember we talked about Houston earlier. I think a couple of podcasts ago. But I was like, the only thing is, I'm like, I like Thompson a little bit better because he was a little more consistent. But Jalen Green is explosive though. He's nice. He's explosive. Yeah, I'm still sticking with Giddey though. But this is tough because I don't know. I find this year the awards are a little tougher. It's a little tougher. Going through some of this list, I was like, shit. I was like really contemplating some of these guys. So who's it? Is it okay? So Jan. So we'll go with you. Who's the defensive player of the year in your eyes?
I'll give it to.
You want to go, Batch?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dyson Daniels for me. Dyson Daniels is defensive player of the year for me.
I think so too. I actually had him as my pick too. I mean, what can you say? Like you couldn't even dribble or pass on his side of the floor after a while. I was gonna say when I heard Jaren Jackson and even like Draymond Green having like the best odds to win Defensive Player of the Year, I was kind of like, are they not watching Atlanta? Like, you can't even pass on this side of the floor.
It sounds like a popularity contest now, man. It's the no names. Like you can't if you're watching these games, like maybe the people that are making these decisions or are voting, maybe they need to get league pass. I don't know, because that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I'm not saying that Jaren Jackson is not a good defensive player, but Dyson Daniels, oh man, he's averaging damn near 3, if not 3 steals a game. Has anyone averaged that?
3.5?
Has anyone? Okay, 3.5. So has anyone even averaged that?
They said it's the most. Bash. They said it's the most since Gary Payton in back in the Seattle days.
Yeah. See, what are we talking about, man? You got to give it to him, man. Like, nah. That hands down should be going to him as well, man.
Oh,
I mean, without Wemby going down, it would stay with Wemby. But given that Wemby went down, he's not eligible for the award. You got to give it to Dyson Daniels.
I think Dyson Daniels is a strong candidate with obviously Draymond Green in his past. I like watching him and how he disrupts people and make them uncomfortable. You can't for such a how tall is he? 6'8"?
Dyson Daniels 6'8", I think.
Who, Green?
Green, Draymond Green. 6'8".
Oh, Draymond Green? Oh, is he? Is he 6'8"?
6'6"?
Oh, okay.
6'6", 6'7", 6'7", okay? He's 6'7".
Maybe 6'7".
Zubats got the best of him, but he made it difficult for him, right? Because the height was just too unbearable, crashing the boards and the tip-ins and so forth. He couldn't do anything, right? But he makes guys uncomfortable, and it's just interesting to watch. So he'll always get votes for that in his history, his past, right? I like Mobley from Cleveland as well. I thought him, Draymond Green, and Dyson Daniels were my 3. And I think Dyson Daniels, just because, he just makes people, you don't dribble in front of him, or you don't cross in front of him, I should say. You know what I'm saying? So, I would agree with Batch and you guys. Dyson Daniels is tough, man. He's it's weird. You see how many times he's just getting steals and just dunking it on the other end? It's just,
There's some games that you're seeing 5, 6, 7 steals. And it's not like once in a blue moon. It's I feel like it's every other week.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like I said,
Yeah, it's consistent.
It reminded me of like, yeah.
His body of work is consistent.
All right, Batch. I kind of know who this answer is, but who's the MVP? Who's the creme de la creme?
SGA. Next question, please. Come on. Come on now. I mean, mind you, sorry. I mean, I think I said that a little too quickly because, damn, Joker's he's ridiculous. And I would be. How would you feel if they end up giving it to him again? By him averaging a triple double now?
I know. And you know what it is with Joker? It's not even just the fact that he averaged a triple double. He's like top 3 in almost every category. Like that to me is the part that's crazy. He's like second in rebounds, second in points, like second or third in assists. He's like top 5 in steals. Like like the stats are crazy. It's insane. You know what I mean? But who's yours? Who's yours, Nation?
I think it's Shea, obviously. They're the best team of the year.
It's unanimous.
He's been consistent. Yeah, he's consistent with it. You know what I'm saying? So I think he deserves it. And I think obviously Jokic is doing unworldly things, and I think he's going to suffer from voter. We call it when all these guys are dominant,
voter fatigue?
Because of voter fatigue. Yeah, sorry, that's what word escaped my mind. But yeah, I think like 60. Sorry, he had a 60 triple double, man, and Westbrook lost the game for him. But that was bad. Yo, I watched a video on him. Side note, I watched a video on Westbrook. You know, he's coming off the bench and he's in the top 3 for turnovers.
Wow.
Think about that. Think about that.
Were you talking trash on him when he was with the Lakers?
I felt sorry for him, but like it was not working. And it was just bad, man. Like possessions, passes in the air. It's just like little mistakes. He's like going 100 miles up in his head, but his body is not responding. It's just like a whole bunch of he's missing layups. He's missing. He used to have a nice full 100 mile per hour coming to a full pull up mid-range jumper. I don't see none of that now, right? So I'm like, what happened? Is it your legs?
It's gone.
What's going on? What's wrong with your hands?
It's gone.
What's wrong with your hands? What's wrong with your hands? What's wrong with your body? Out of control. But he plays hard, and that's what you're he gives you 110% effort. He's a great leader. He's a great human locker room guy. But my God, sorry, had to say that. So I think if Jokic, if they did better in the regular season, I think he would have a better chance of getting the MVP this year. But I just think because they faltered and like it was just him, man. It's just a one-man show there. Right? Isn't
that more of a reason to give it to him because of that though?
I know, yeah, but I think some of it you have to do with like but then how can you not look at what SGA's body of work consistently doing?
No, fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? And so like this, we were at the same. Okay, look at last year and this year. What's the difference?
Last year they were fighting for the 1 and 2 spots. Last year, Jokic had Jamal Murray for majority of the season. He also had a more consistent Michael Porter Jr. He had a more consistent Eric Gordon. This is why I said I easily would have given it.
Gordon was there too.
Right? I would have gave it to Shea way before I would have given it to Jokic last year. But seeing what Jokic did this year without those guys consistently being there, oh man.
Yeah.
It really makes it difficult for Shea to get it, but I think Shea should get it. Because
even Joker said it's the best basketball he's playing all year. I mean, ever, I should say. He's at the peak of his powers right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the thing is,
at the mountaintop of his powers right now.
When you look at Nikola Jokic's like his frame, you will look at him and he still doesn't look like he's in shape, and he's killing cats with ease.
Okay, listen. He's in shape because
I know he's in shape, but his body don't look like he's in shape, though.
But he looks way better than he did 5 years ago. Right now, Okay, 1. 2, I watched him catch the rebound when he played the Lakers in the playoff and beat Anthony Davis down the floor. And that's when I said, that can't happen. From a compete level, that can't happen. That can't happen. And that's when I knew he will always have the upper hand against AD because he already believes up here and he has the body to dislodge him and do whatever he wants. And then barely jump over a phone book to get that shot off. Right? So it's just like, yeah. I watch these matchups. I watch how he just goes with each person. He systematically goes to his toolbox to go at him. So I got a lot of respect for his game and what he does. And watching Team USA try to shut him down. Not the team, him. They're more concerned about him, not letting him get out. Right?
And they struggled.
And they still barely won. Right? So that says a lot. So much respect for him. But once again, voter fatigue, I think because SGA OKC has been dominant. They're the number 1 team all year round. They've been doing it. And he's like banking more years of his numbers. I think he's earned it. Right? So that's why I'll give him the nod this year.
It looks it's funny because I was watching the game one time at my sister's house, maybe like a couple weeks ago, and Denver was on TV. And my nephew's girlfriend, shout out to Malika. I was like, she looked at the TV and she's like, who's that guy? I said, yeah, that's Jokic. What if I told you he's the best basketball player in the world right now? And she was like, that guy. I'm like, trust me, it's not even, I would say it's not close, but I'm like, but he's the best basketball player in the league. Like. You would never look that way. Like he looks like those YMCA guys that'll come and just eat your food. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's nuts what he does every single night. And it's funny because they say he trains. Well, I know he trains back in Serbia, but I know when he started getting in shape, he was training a lot in Denver. That altitude, it does wonders. Because those like Kenyan runners, you look here, it does wonders. Like that is the thing. You know what I mean? So he may not look like he's in shape, but he's in shape. I agree with you, Jad. He's in shape.
Yeah, 100%. I just
but like I said, the game. Right, no, I was gonna say the game right now is like Neo in the Matrix levels right now. Mm-hmm. Like he's basically taking the bullets out of the air and just throwing them on the ground. Like that's how he's playing the game right now. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's stupid. But we're all in unison. It's SGA. Like SGA is. What the difference is, 2 things to me. They're 18 games ahead of Denver. Like they won 68 games this year. That's one of the best records in NBA history. Yeah. And this is not like a situation where it's like best player on the best team kind of thing. You got to give him the award for that. He's putting up the best guard seasons that's rivaling Jordan at his peak.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
He has to finish the deal, though. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I just remember one year, if you remember, Dirk got the championship. Sorry, not the championship. He got the MVP and then lost in the first round to Golden State. Right? And so it just made
that's not happening.
I think Steve could have got Steve Nash could have got 3 years in a row. Right? We should have gave it to him. Right?
Yeah.
Because this guy's not a true MVP to lose in the first round. So it'll be interesting to see how this playoff works, how teams get going. But SGA all the way, especially this year.
So we'll get into the playoffs matchups right now. We'll start off with the Clippers and the Nuggets. What are you guys seeing with this series, and who do you guys got?
Clippers and 6.
Okay.
It depends on Jamal Murray.
Shannon Sharp pick?
No.
What? Try to name off random people and said 5? What's wrong with this guy?
No. Listen, man, it's too late. It's too late in the night.
Yeah. Trail mix, pick up sticks, get the switch.
Hey, I got
Clippers and 6.
My ass right now. I couldn't get it off. But I'll say this. I just think it'll be a very competitive. It's all dependent on Jamal Murray. I think for them to have a fighting chance, I don't know where he is. He hasn't been playing up until this point, so it's like, where is he at, right? So this hamstring injury, right? So if he's hobbled, I think Clippers will get them in. I agree, either 5 or 6 games, because they don't have enough firepower.
Yeah.
The Braun kid, he's just not cutting it. You can't get that consistently. I think Michael Porter Jr. up and down. Aaron Gordon, he has to play huge as a glue guy, and then it's just like, him and Jokic have a great chemistry with the lobs and stuff, but like, is that enough, both offensively and defensively, against the Clippers? Clippers are rolling right now. Kawhi's playing the best ball since his championship run before he got mashed up his knees, and he's looking spry. He's looking spry on both ends of the floor. Harden is now seeing this guy rejuvenated. He's playing well. He played well against Golden State. He had 2 massive threes in overtime. So I was impressed with that. So looks like Ty Lue got these guys rolling at the right time. So Zubac is just giving 20 double-doubles. And you got, what's his name? Used to be with the Raptors. Powell.
Powell's been great.
Powell's been great, right? So they got the what's his name? Serbian guy that came from Atlanta.
Bogdanovic.
Yeah,
Bogdanovic. He's been up and down. You can tell he's trying to find his way, but I think once he gets his confidence and his flow, he'll be a problem coming off the bench. It'll be interesting. I just still think that Clippers will have them, especially with the momentum that they have right now. That Golden State win was huge for them.
Yeah,
for them.
That was a great game, by the way.
Yeah, that was a great. That was an old-fashioned, good playoff game there. You know what I'm saying? Good basketball, good theater.
Yeah,
stars coming to play. Heed, that last 3 didn't hit the rim, guy. Hit the rim, dude. Get your feet set. So, yeah, it was a good game. Guys are tired though. I could tell Curry's banged up. Butler, he has like 18 points right now.
Listen,
so it's interesting to see.
Yeah, he's
Butler's looking like himself in the playoffs, like he usually does.
Oh, he's got 21 now. He's got 21.
Playoff Jimmy's here.
Yeah.
But Morant has 15.
Jimmy's here right now.
Morant has 15, right? So it's just like it's just interesting to see. So yeah, man, that was a big game for the Clippers. I still think that I think they'll get past Denver.
Yeah, we're in unison with that. I think it's the Clippers in 6 or 7. I mean, the Clippers are deeper. Asking David Adelman, Rick Adelman's son, to basically coach his team and go up against Tyronn Lue in this situation is I don't think it's fair. You know what I mean? To be quite honest with you, like what he's basically at 3. He's never even coached college. Like he's coached maybe AAU, maybe. I don't even know if he's done that. Like that's a tough ask. You know what I mean?
They fired Thing with 4 games left for him to get his act together to figure out what he's going to do. Right? Oh, it's 3. Okay,
3 games.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I mean, that in itself is nuts. Like that in itself is completely crazy. We were like last week. I mean, I couldn't get a chance to put a recording in last week, but man, watching that day of him and Booth getting the boot, like that was insane.
Mm.
That was totally insane. At least a team in flux. You know what I mean? I mean, you still got the Joker, but like Zubac has been playing pretty well this season. He usually has his number 2, but Zubac has been playing good, man. Like you can't leave him alone. Like,
think of it this way. For them to fire the coach, Denver, to fire the coach and the general manager, okay? How toxic it must have been behind scenes in that locker room. Because they basically said that he was showing favoritism to Russell Westbrook and to the stars, and while the other guys. So I could kind of understand. They're like, we got respect for Russell Westbrook, but he has never won one. Some guys on the roster got one.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then this guy's missing breakaway layups and then fouling 3-point shooters on the opposite end. That tells me you're tired because you don't have enough oxygen to the brain to make coherent plays. You shouldn't be playing that long. Like, those are mistakes, man. You gotta sit down. Like JaVale McGee, you're playing him too long. All those stupidness, he's playing too long. He's tired. Sit him down. Jackson Hayes is I think he's on the JaVale McGee tree, but not as bad, but like same concept in the sense of these guys that play too long. Okay, time to sit them down.
Oh no, it's just bad. It's just bad.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah.
Yeah, and then also shout out to James Harden too, because he's had a renaissance season this year, man. He's held it down.
Definitely.
Especially when Kawhi was out those first 34, 35 games. He's probably worthy of an all NBA spot. Like he's been really, really solid.
I think he might get it.
He played Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think he should. I think he should.
That game, I think that game cemented it for him, to be honest with you. That last game.
He should. Yeah, I agree with you. He should get it. Like he's been great, man. I keep wanting to knock him, and I'm like, okay, he's been doing this too long now. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And he had some big moments in that Golden State game, like huge moments. All right, let's get to meeting the Lakers. I'll sit back. You guys can go. Go ahead.
I like the Lakers in 6.
Of course.
I think Denver is an athletic team, but they can't score consistently in the half court. And I think they're going to slow the game down methodically. They're going to make the game more of a methodical game, thinking game, rather than just athletes running up and down the floor. I think I look forward to this. And it'll be interesting to see how things unfold. I just want to see how they're going to guard Luka, how they're going to guard LeBron, and more importantly, who's going to guard Austin Reeves. It'll be interesting to see. I'm really looking forward to it because it's a good matchup. This is going to be a good matchup. And then, on the opposite end, I like to see what Julius Randle has because he is going to be like the X factor for Minnesota. Like
he's the X factor.
Can he get his game? Can he get his game off? Because the Lakers are going to pack the paint and going to force you guys to take shots. And if he's left open, he's going to take that shot. And he's not Karl Anthony Towns, so go ahead. And then the Gobert factor. We normally get that screen and roll. We're going to get that half court, get him out there on the island. And I'm going to count the threes on his head top for the next podcast batch. I'm done.
Go, Batch. Go get him. Go.
So my thing is this. You said that they're going to slow the game down. The half court sets are going to mess up Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota they play at a slower pace than the Lakers.
But they can't score consistently.
No, but they play at a slower pace than the Lakers. So that means their half court set is actually probably better than theirs.
I doubt that. Highly doubt that. We will see this weekend. You're telling me right now, Batch, please tell me that you think playing a half court basketball match as the playoff starts, we play half court basketball, Minnesota has a better chance of efficiently scoring out of 10 possessions each time better than LeBron and Luka? Okay.
No. Hold on. First of all, LeBron has 0 handles. 2, all you have to do is be physical with Luka. 3, you have no big. What are we talking about right now?
I understand that. I understand if you had a dominant big. Naz Reid gives me alarm concerned because he's a big that can play. Hold on. He can play both inside outside, and he's a tall guy to crash the boards. The boards is going to be a problem, definitely. But Rudy Gobert has the worst hands in the multiverse, not the universe. I said the multiverse. Okay, he has the worst hands. Okay, so I know they're going to eliminate him offensively. His best bet, he might catch a lob here and there, but they're going to keep him. That short corner, we'll see what he's got. He's got to crash the boards. He's gonna play himself off the floor. Watch. He did it against USA. He does it in all the playoff games. They take him off and they go small, and they put Naz Reid at the 5.
But if that happens, that's even worse because Jackson Hayes can't play the perimeter, and that's where Naz Reid plays at.
Yeah, and that's when they take him out, and then they'll go with the death lineup.
So that means you don't have no chance on the first line, and you definitely don't have no chance on the second line.
Once again, if you had a dominant big that was scoring inside for you, then I would, yes. They're not going to be dominant. They're not going to be double teaming any of their bigs. The only person they can double team is Anthony Edwards.
Sorry, who's guarding
As soon as
Anthony
he
Edwards?
crosses half court, as soon as he crosses half court, he's getting double teamed. And then we're going to see.
Anthony Edwards?
Yes.
So then you're going to leave who open?
Okay. We're going to see when the lights are on, who's going to hit the shots in LA. That's going to be a primetime game on NBC or ABC, whatever it is now. That's going to be a primetime game. Listen, hold on. I'll say this last point. It's going to be a primetime game. You're going to hit those shots. They're either going to be up to hit it or you're going to be ready for the moment or not. We're going to see what Minnesota is truly about.
So let me ask you.
Are you guys going to put money on? Are you guys going to put money down on this? Yes or no?
He doesn't want to put money on it. He doesn't want to put. I'll put my paycheck on it. They're losing.
Sorry, did I say that loud? That thought was in my head.
Let me ask you a question. So, you spoke on Naz Reid as one of the people or one of the players to be an issue for the Lakers. So, you go ahead for whatever crazy reason you think you're going to shut down Anthony Edwards. We know that's not happening.
No, but
you have two weakest links on your team. And actually 3 of them, because LeBron don't really play defense.
He'll play defense on a bigger body. He can play. We can hide him playing a bigger body like Julius Randle, Naz Reid,
Randle,
or even Gobert.
Let me ask you a question. Who is Austin Reeves guarding?
He'll get isolated.
Next question. Who is Luka Doncic playing? Who is he playing defense with?
We'll hide him.
You can't. That's 2 people. You're playing 3-on-5 now.
Listen. We're hiding him in our schemes. You'll watch a game and watch how they're hiding him so that he doesn't get caught. Sometimes it happens, but for the most part, they're hiding him to make sure that he doesn't get caught up on that screen, right? Listen, Luka's defense, my God. But I'll take effort over. I'll take the effort.
What?
He's getting blown by, but at least he's putting. It's all about defensive positioning. It's all about defensive positioning, leading him into the help, and rotating off. Lakers in 6.
Who's worse? Who's worse in their prime defensively, Luka or James Harden?
Oh my God, Luka.
That's not even.
Bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
I'm still confused though. You're talking like
I don't know.
hold on. Jay McDaniels, DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards. My man, are you forgetting about this roster right now?
Yeah, but okay.
Yo, you don't start pulling stuff out of your ass now. Hold on. We can't just be pulling stuff out of our ass and saying whatever we want now. Yeah, it's got to make sense. You starting to come off like Shannon Sharp right
Jen.
Yeah.
Jen.
Yeah.
You gonna let Bass talk to you like that?
Hold on.
now. What's he doing over there? What? He ain't got no popcorn over there.
I know. This guy. I was like, yo, this guy got something. He got something going on here.
I know. I'm missing my popcorn.
Listen.
Hold on.
I like. So what? Say again. Go ahead.
You really think? Like, I need you to be serious. On the real, I need you to be a basketball guy right now, not a LeBron guy. You seriously think that the Lakers are going to beat the Timberwolves?
Yes.
Why?
Minnesota's undisciplined. They take bad shots. They're playing better of late, but they're still like, I'm not a believer. I am not a believer. Their best chance was last year. The Daniels kid, great defensive player. He has grit and heart. He's going to step up to the challenge, but Luka torches that ass. Okay?
Hold on. Stop.
Hold on. Let me finish.
First of all, hold on.
Hold on. Okay. Owns that ass. Owns both butt cheeks. Okay. Yeah. Then we have who's going to cover LeBron. We're going to space the floor, and we have our shooters. We're going to shoot. We're going to bomb their head off. It's going to be bombs over Baghdad. We're going to space the floor, and I can't wait for it. When's this game? It's this weekend. Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday 8:30 on ABC. How about that? I gave you the whole thing, so you can't say you missed the game.
No, I won't. It's
first of all,
I believe they're going to beat them in games because it's not. Sorry.
First off, shout out to the homies in the Fed. the blasphemous comments on my guy McDaniels to begin with, unnecessary. We can't do that. Fairway, stand up. Come on, we can't do that though. Luka Doncic is not going to be torching no James McDaniels. Let's just make that clear. Okay? Luka is Luka. I'm not going to say nothing crazy, but he's going to have himself a hard time. And we all know one thing that Luka likes to do is the same that LeBron likes to do. Complain. So when you got two guys complaining on the court, guess what happens? You got two guys missing on defense.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I'll tell you this much. Hold on.
Can I just add something?
Hold on. Just one thing. Last thing. I'll say this much. And the game on what was that game that Lakers had to win? The game against OKC. Yeah, they split with OKC. Okay, they smashed them. One thing I noticed about that game was that OKC wasn't getting the calls that they normally got. Right?
No. Shea didn't get the calls that he normally gets.
Him, but the whole team didn't get their calls, right? And it impacted them, right? It's more than basketball, is what I'm trying to tell you. So keep that in mind. That's all I'm going to say. Lakers in 6. Sorry, guys. I'm just meditating.
Yo, so just before we move to the next team, I don't even have to put my input on it. But before we move on to the next series, you guys sure don't want to put like $5 down, $10?
Nope.
Man,
Stop betting.
put a bill
Batch,
on.
I think he took a shot at Puget Sound.
Nope.
Listen,
no, I don't bet.
Put a brown bill on it, man.
Nope. Not doing it.
Put that.
Look at Kelvin. Hey, you're nasty. You just try to look. I'm not doing it, man. I'm not doing it.
Put that Skittles money on it.
No, man, I'm not doing it.
You don't want to. You don't want to do a friendly bet.
I'm just gonna wait. I'll wait.
Y'all gotta do it for a roti or oxtail or something.
Hey, I'll do it for roti for sure, and the doubles. Yo, and Polaris too. Give me that too, and the chub, baby. Nah, you know what? Pause on that. Just give me a regular grace or something, man. So all the young fellas listening, yeah, that's a pause for real though. Yeah, take that back.
Yeah. That'll go viral on social media. But yeah.
Hey, Cal, make sure you don't edit that out, man.
I know, he'll set you up. He'll probably set you up for it.
Replay it, have it just kind of yeah, give me a chub. Give me a chub. Like, oh man, come on, man.
Sorry.
But nah, for real though, hey, I'm gonna say this though. Lakers are going to lose in 5 games.
Sorry, you catch up time. Would you?
1 game.
He's trying to get a rise out of me. I can see. He's smart.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
Lakers, Minnesota in 5. You said
Minnesota in 5. That is all.
I'll bet to that. I'm joking.
You bet to that?
I'm joking. No, I'm not touching nothing. I'm not touching nothing. I remember one time I lost a bet to Calvin that still haunts me to this day. I had to buy him a jersey, and I can't live with that. Another friend of mine, I lost a bet, and I ended up paying for his entry for a men's league team. So that burned me. He called Golden State the year when they won like 16 games on the road. It was like the earlier before they started with Mark Jackson. Yeah, he called it. He goes, I think he said Golden State's going to finish above 5th or something like that in the West. I said, no way. $100 on that. They finished 4th. I was hoping because Curry got injured, I think, and I was hoping he's going to lose. They kept winning, and I was like, this is right before the Steve Kerr era. Or I think it was the first Steve Kerr year, or second Steve Kerr year. But yeah.
Also, so they won the title. Jeez. Wow.
Yeah. Or they won the title next year. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. So
you're scarred. You're scarred.
Yo, they still had a good team.
I mean, there's counseling for that. You know that, right?
Counseling.
Okay.
Oh man.
Bucks and Pacers. Who y'all got?
That's gonna be a good one.
It might be the Pacers again. Dame's not back.
Yeah, he's gonna miss a few games, or maybe the first round.
Yeah.
But Giannis is going to do a Herculean.
I don't think he's
effort.
coming back.
You don't think he's coming
Giannis?
back?
Yeah.
Dang.
What?
No, I don't think Dame's coming back, man. They keep saying that, but I'm like, yo, he's on blood thinners, man. Like,
Yeah, you can't.
they make it seem like, oh, it's like a sprained ankle. Like, he ain't coming back.
Yeah. They didn't do the research. Like, he can't take contact with that.
I wouldn't even come back if I was him. I'd make sure I'm 110% like right first.
But it's just like it's the same thing every year. Like they're always injured or depleted. You know what I'm saying? So you got what's his face back. What's his face came back, give them a little punch. What's his name? Portis. He came back. That was weird. This guy is got caught for taking a banned substance, and he was playing like shit anyways. So
what? No,
he wasn't playing. He wasn't playing great before he got out.
Yeah, he was. He was actually doing well off the bench.
To start the season, my brother.
No, not to start the season. I'm talking about at the time when he got banned. He was
okay. The time he got banned. Yeah,
before
but
he got banned.
When they first started, he was terrible. The first 2 months, he was terrible. And then, I'll give you that. Started coming into it because they needed something from him. Because it looked like they're going to trade him. I thought they're going to trade him for sure. I thought for sure he was going to be gone, not Milton. I thought for sure he would have been gone. But I think it's all dependent on what Giannis can do. I think Giannis is the X factor because no one could guard him. And Indiana's not known for their defense. Yeah. They're just going to try to run it up, right? So,
Don't say that.
That they're not known for their defense?
I don't understand what you're saying.
You're saying they're not known for their defense.
There you go.
Don't say that.
That's what I thought he said. Yeah, that's what I thought you was talking about.
No one's going to be able to cover Giannis. It'll be interesting to see what Kuzma brings to the table. The Porter kid, he's the starting point guard, isn't he?
No, well, is he starting? Is he starting that point?
Yeah, I believe so. He's been playing a lot of closing minutes. So him and Giannis have been getting a little bit of chemistry.
I think Giannis is kind of playing point everything now.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Yeah. He's been playing good, though. No, I was just saying, you're saying that the Pacers don't play defense. I'm like, hold on with that because they started off, I think, 10-15. They started off the season. They started off bad. But since then, they've been 40-17, and they're like one of the top 10 defenses in the league ever since that 15-game start. So they kind of changed their identity a bit.
Well, they've
been playing really well defensively. Like this,
Neesmith, Nembhard. I think even Madden
they got to a bad start this year. I think a lot of it had to do with Halliburton. He wasn't well. It looks like his legs, but once he resurged, he wasn't playing good at all for the good portion of the season. But I don't know. I think they it's an interesting matchup. I just don't know. It's all dependent on Giannis. It's like I still think he's the X factor because they can't stop him. He just has to do monster numbers in the sense of like 30, 40 doubles. And then who else is going to come to the party? Is Lopez going to give you something?
And he can.
And he can, but what I'm saying? So it's just going to be interesting to see what Doc Rivers. This is another thing. This is another Doc Rivers team. We're seeing what he could do. I'm just like,
yeah. But the only thing is, this is the Doc Rivers team that's not a high seed.
I know. So I think Giannis gives them a chance.
Expectations are a little different. You know what I mean?
I just think that no one can cover Giannis.
You hear me?
There's just
no. What'd you say, Cal? What'd you say?
No, I just said that with Doc Rivers, I said it's a little different now because he doesn't have the same expectations. Like he's an underdog now, so you might get a better effort from him. It's when he's a high seed. That's when the championship expectation. That's when he falters. You know what I mean?
Well,
I think the Pacers in 6. I have the Pacers in 6. I think Giannis is going to win at least 2 games by himself.
I got Pacers in 7, and Dame returns on that 7 games.
Okay, all right. I mean, I hope you're right, but I'm like, I just don't see him doing it. Like it's blood thinners, man. Like it's a blood clot. I'm like, I mean, unless it's totally gone. I mean, he's on the bench, so I don't know if he's flying with the team though. That's the only thing. But he is there.
So imagine if you're on blood thinners, should you be flying? I don't think you should be. No.
No.
Right.
The pressure is not good.
Right. So if he's flying with them, I think he's getting close.
Last one, but I may have to sit back on this one again. Detroit, the Knicks. Actually, fuck it, go.
Fucking go.
Jan, he was talking crazy last time. Go ahead.
Listen, as much as I am a Knicks fan, I should say Knicks fan. As much as I believe that the Knicks can do something, I also believe that Detroit can do something as well. They're well coached. But the thing is, I think Detroit is actually better defensively. Yeah. New York literally has to beat them offensively. If they can't score, they're going to be in trouble. And I really believe that. Mm-hmm. If Tibbs decides that he doesn't want to play that bench and wants to run those guys out, they are going to be exhausted. If they go to a 7-game, I see Detroit winning that 7th game. That's how I feel about that. I think that would probably be your first upset if it were to come to that.
If that happens, mark my words. If that happens, Tibbs is going to get fired. But go ahead, Jack.
I think he's going to get fired. I think he's going to get fired if he doesn't get past the first round. I definitely. The stage has been set. I think the Knicks are favored because they have the experience. Not to say they've been there, but the core has been together, right? So we'll see what Karl-Anthony Towns has to bring. He has to bring it. He's been bringing it for the most part, but just that defensive anchor that he needs to be, it's gonna kill them on the defensive end. I'm intrigued to see. I think it's gonna be a very action packed. I think it might go 7 games. I'm expecting to go 7 games, but I'm leaning. If Detroit could steal a game, oh my goodness! In those first 2 games, I think we got a serious series. But I think because these guys, this is their first time being at the dance together, Detroit. That has a lot to go. That's what I'm saying. So I think I want to pick the Detroit Pistons. I want to pick them because I think they're rolling right now. It's all about right now how you're rolling into the playoffs. How are you coming into the playoffs? Have you peaked early or are you peaking now? I think New York peaked in the first quarter, and then since they've, I've watched how they play against the elite. Boston suns them, Cleveland does it. They'll be beating Cleveland and Boston for 3-4 quarters, and that final 6 minutes they just falter. So there's a lot up there because are they looking at Boston in the next round? They better be focused on Detroit, man, because Detroit is coming. So I think it's a 7-game series. It's a 50-50, but I'll say 50-50. I want to piss off Batch, but I have to say, though, Brunson Factor, those guys play hard. Crash Bandicoot there. What's his name? What's that guy? No, the other guy, the light-skinned guy. Hart. This guy's wild, man. Yeah, he's wild, but he plays hard. They play hard, but if it's a long series, I just don't. It doesn't favor the Knicks because I think Detroit's deeper and they're gonna bruise them. I think it's going to be a bruising series. This is not a matchup it's going to be a mucky, rough one for them, and they don't want that.
Yes, son.
Right? Yeah.
Get the 10 boots out. Detroit's
yeah.
Detroit's ready.
You know what I'm saying?
Ready.
You know what I'm saying? Stewart is going to punch someone for no reason, guy. Right? So Durham is just going to run someone down. You know what? Tobias has something to prove. These guys have a chip on their shoulder. They want the stage. It's in New York. New York, the greatest stage. Tobias
has the experience. And I feel that his leadership alone, I feel that Cade will actually feed off of that, which is not good for the Knicks because with Cade's with his talent and his personality, feeding off of Tobias, who's not also a player that's out there like that, he's very calm and collected. That is really bad because now imagine going to New York where you're going to be going against all those crazy fans, but those guys are so relaxed. They're like, man, listen, your 20,000 fans don't faze us. We're going to come here, get a couple. I really feel that Detroit feels that they're actually going to steal more than 1 game in New York alone. At the same time, from what we've seen from Karl-Anthony Towns in the playoffs, we may see it again in the playoffs again with New York. It may have to be a Jalen Brunson show, and maybe Mikal Bridges has to wake up. Maybe we see something come from OG. OG put up a couple games up. The last 10 games, he did some things we haven't really seen, right? So
yeah,
a lot of people got to step up. I think Karl Anthony Towns, they probably got a defensive assignment for him, so he's going to get worked. Isaiah Stewart's probably going to try to get in his head. He just got to make sure he doesn't fall for it.
Well, I think Isaiah Stewart's got to make sure he doesn't go over the edge himself, because this is also his first playoff time too, right? So
right.
Got to make sure he doesn't go over the ledge.
I think the emotions will be more high on the fact that he's actually there, and for the fact that that's his first time being there. It may not happen again next year. You never know. Everything just it's so crazy how things change so quickly, right? He better enjoy the moment and embrace it and say, listen, I'm trying to get to the next round, so I gotta be doing this for my team. And there's one thing I noticed with those guys on Detroit, they rep Detroit as if they're from there. Which Detroit,
yeah.
They played for the Pistons as if they are actually from Detroit. That is not a team I want to see in the first round.
They got that BMF energy.
He said BMF. What up, though?
What up, though? Yo, what would be dope is if New York came into the locker room and everybody was wearing fatigues and Timbs. Take it back to the 90s. Averex, Bubble Goose jackets, Timbs with the shorts. You know what I'm saying? If they came up with that,
that's too far. Oh man. I'll be crazy.
No, but you know what though? I think Cat's the X factor, and it's not because the toughness issue. I don't know it's so much that because he's better. Like he's a lot better than Durham and Stewart. But the issue is he going to solve? Because I don't know if he has the Jaren Jackson disease or if Jaren Jackson has a cat disease. But those guys both get in foul trouble, and Cat is worse because he gets some of the dumbest calls in the playoffs. Yeah. Is he disciplined enough to not get himself in foul trouble? Because the Knicks really need him. They don't have a lot of big depth, so they really need him. So, like, is he mature enough that part of his game is gone? Like, if he's unfazed by that, I think the Knicks win this. Honestly, probably about a tough 5 or 6 game series if Cat doesn't get in a lot of foul trouble. But I'm like, you know, Detroit's first time in New York City, like, yo, playing in the Madison Square Garden in the playoffs, man, that's pressure for a first time team. You know what I mean?
Is it though?
Is it really though? Being there,
I would love to play in something like that. That is pure energy,
of course. But I'm just saying, yo, that energy is a little different. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying Cade is not up for it, but I'm just saying, like, experience is like New York's got way more experience. You know what I mean? But so we're gonna see what happens. But I'm expecting a tough series. Like, I can't wait for this series too. I'll be watching that game on Saturday.
So what time is that game on Saturday?
6:00.
Ooh. Well, I might have to miss part of that. Damn. It's all right though.
Yeah, but I'll be watching that for sure. But like I said, I think again, the last point I'll make is I think Brunson's having this week off because he just came out of that ankle injury. I think that's huge for Brunson getting that treatment and stuff because I mean that was a pretty bad injury, but give him that week off. I think that's huge. And I mean, you know, Brunson comes to play in the playoffs, no matter who's in front of him, right? So as long as Tibbs is not in this 87 Honda Civic winter beater type vibes with these guys, you know what I mean? I think this should be fine, but we'll see. But any last thoughts on the playoffs going forward? Or you know what? Last thing I'll say is last question I'll ask before we wrap up, because we just got a couple minutes left. But for the teams that are out of the playoffs right now, who's the one that you like? You're confident in their future. If you could pick
Toronto.
I'm dead.
And I'm not a Raptor fan. I'm not a Raptor fan by any stretch of the imagination. You know this, Cal. You know how much money I won in the playoffs against the Raptors.
Mhm.
With that said, I think their future is bright because they got a good nucleus. Ingram is definitely have to show improve to stay healthy. They got a good nucleus of and Pirtle. They're keeping Pirtle quickly, Barrett, and I like what they got. They got a good group of guys. If they're smart, they'll work together in the offseason early to get a jump on the season. But that's just me. I think they've set themselves up for next year to have a better, not to say be a top 5 team, but to definitely confidently make the playoffs.
Yo, just get in that top 4. That's all we're trying to do right now. Get in the top 4. That's it. Maybe top 5, but just try to get in the top 4. What about you, Batch?
San Antonio.
And that's my second pick.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, they should have been in the playoffs this year.
Yeah. I mean, that's a given. I think I'd even them because I'm like, once Wemby's back, then it's back to business. And I think Wemby's hungry.
A team that, I mean, I was saying this I would be saying this for the last 3 years, but for some reason they just want draft picks. I don't know what's going on. But Utah, man, they got some pieces on that team, but they start off well and then they say, okay, we're doing too well. Let's scale it back. We need some more draft picks. We're trying to get capital right now. I have no idea what direction these guys are trying to do. Like, they're setting up for something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's for Cooper Flag this whole time, but I feel if Utah somehow gets Cooper Flag, I think now you'll probably see Utah be the team that they're primed to be.
Yeah, they trying to fuck it up for Flag right now. They're fucking it up for Flag. They actually, I mean, to be honest, if they don't get Flag, I can see them doing it one more time to try to get the AJ kid from that's going to BYU. Keep him in state. I mean, everybody likes this kid. I haven't seen enough on him, but I mean, he's projected to be a number 1 pick. Although they're saying that Darren Peterson kid, the 2 guard that's going to Kansas, like it might be overtaking him in that number 1 spot. But I'm just saying like he's a one and done kid. He's he doesn't have to leave the state if Utah can get him. But we'll see. But I think they're trying to fuck it up for Flag. So I think they're going to do whatever they can to get him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's funny. I thought you would have mentioned a Northwest team because I have Portland.
Yo, they're.
I think actually Portland.
What? I actually forgot about them. The only problem is they don't have enough defenders on that team. No, they got to figure out what they're doing with DeAndre Ayton. I feel like they're confused right now. But I mean, I agree with. I can see them flipping Simons and him actually in the offseason. For who though?
I don't know.
Kamara
send it back to Phoenix.
Kamara is a great pick. Chris Murray is actually a good pick. The brother of Keegan. Who else they got on that team? Scoot Henderson. I think we got to see more. But see, he's been a problem from Washington though. See, if people aren't watching these teams, that's not really a surprise though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's been doing that.
He's been tough.
I mean,
he's been tough.
Yeah, Shaden Sharp, he's solid, but Chauncey constantly said the defense has got to pick up. Banton, he could be a 6-man. He could be a 6-man of the year guy
in the future. Jan's scrunching up his face. He don't believe.
Nah, he don't. That's okay.
Let me not do that to you because he's from Toronto. Let me not do that to you, Jan. Let me not do that to you.
No, just. I don't know about 6-man. Well, they got a good thing there. They re-signed Chauncey because they didn't want to lose him, which I thought was interesting because they didn't want to lose him onto the open market. He's a good coach. He's a good developer of young talent, and that's what he's cultivating here. So they're just trying to see what they could get. Grant is still there. Is he playing? Right. So
he was hurt a lot this year.
He was hurt. He's in and out. Right. He was in trade talk rumors.
And Scoot too. But Scoot actually had a good second year.
Yeah, but compared to his potential, it's still underwhelming, right?
Yeah, fair enough. But I think they could be a team to look out for in the next year or two because they were playing pretty tough. They were playing pretty tough. But let's wrap it up here, boys. Yeah, man. Thank you guys. You know, as always, man, for doing this. Lots of jokes and conversation as this guy sips on his tea. Lots of good conversation.
Man, my bad. Holy.
Was that green? Was it tea green?
Oh man,
No, it's
yo, Morant's hurt.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, it's over.
What did he hurt?
Because
Looks like his leg, his foot. He looked like he in pain too.
Oh boy.
And it's like it's a 2-point game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch this game.
If he I see it now. If he's hurt and he don't come back, can you listen? I told Batch this, Jan. I think I could see him getting traded in the offseason.
Oh yeah.
If they don't make it out of the play-in, I can see him being gone.
I think he tarnished his reputation around
this Luka energy, man. This Luka.
Yes.
Oh, he rolled it good.
Yeah,
He rolled his ankle.
this Luka energy, man, is flipped the league on its ear.
You think it's a high ankle? Or, see, I don't watch that stuff, eh? I look away, man. I don't even play ball no more, and I still look away.
Yeah, no. That's gonna be sore, man. Nice.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
So he's not playing. So if they don't win,
I think
they gotta win this game. Is it Bane? Who's been scoring for them?
Ooh.
So let me look here.
It's been a collective, but it looks Jared Jackson was going on for quite a bit there though.
Okay, he got 12.
Yeah, this ain't good.
Edie got 9. Morant got 17. Okay, Bane got 19. So it has to be Bane and Pippen. Pippen steady Eddie, eh? Pippen Jr. steady Eddie over here. He's become a good component for them. And then Aldama. He's steady Eddie. He's another one. He's got 12 points off the bench.
I like Aldama.
He's steady, man.
Yeah, I like Aldama. They got a good team, man.
Whoever you need.
His shoe was off. Yo, he's done.
They got a good team. All right, thank you guys once again, man. As always, we'll get it back together in the playoffs at some point.
All right.
All right.